Have you ever found yourself lost in your thoughts, overthinking every decision, every mistake, and every possible outcome? Do you stay up at night worrying about things that are out of your control, feeling trapped in an endless cycle of stress and anxiety? If so, you are not alone. Overthinking and worrying can consume your mind and steal your peace. They make even the smallest problems feel enormous. They make you feel helpless, exhausted, and anxious about the future. But here's something you must remember. Worrying will never change your situation. Only trusting in Allah will. Allah is the one who created you, who controls everything, and who has already planned every moment of your life. When you constantly worry, it means you are trying to control things that only Allah can control. And that is why it drains your energy and fills your heart with fear. But when you put your trust in Allah, your heart finds peace. You realize that no matter what happens, Allah's plan is always better than yours. Allah reminds us in the Quran and provides him with what he needs from where he does not even imagine. And whoever places his trust in Allah, he is sufficient for him. Surely Allah is to accomplish his purpose. Allah has set a measure for everything. When you trust in Allah, he takes care of everything. You don't need to carry the burden alone. You don't need to stress over things that are beyond your control. All you need to do is do your best and leave the rest to Allah. In this video, we will explore why overthinking and worrying do more harm than good, and how putting your trust in Allah can change your life. We will discuss how overthinking will never solve your problems, why Allah's plan is always better, and how patience and prayer can bring you peace. So, if you are tired of feeling anxious, if you want to find true peace, then stay with us till the end. And before we continue, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, Deen Xplorers, so we can continue sharing these powerful reminders with you. Worrying too much? Allah is in control. Life is full of ups and downs. One moment everything seems fine, and the next, you are drowning in worries. Your mind starts racing. What if I fail? What if I lose everything? What if things don't go the way I planned? These thoughts keep spinning in your head, making you anxious, restless, and sometimes even hopeless. But here's the truth. Worrying will never change anything. It will only drain your energy, steal your peace, and make your heart heavy with fear. No matter how much you overthink, the outcome is never in your hands. The only one who controls everything is Allah. When you truly believe that Allah is in control, your worries will start to disappear. Imagine you are on a boat in the middle of a stormy ocean. The waves are crashing, and the wind is howling. You are terrified, holding on tightly, afraid that the boat might sink. But then, you see the captain standing calmly at the wheel, steering the ship with confidence. He has sailed through storms before. He knows the way. You take a deep breath and realize that you don't have to control the storm. You just have to trust the captain. This is exactly how life works. Allah is with you. He sees the bigger picture. He knows what's ahead, and he is guiding you to the best destination. The problem is, we want to control everything. We want to know what will happen tomorrow, next week, or next year. We want life to go exactly as we planned. But life doesn't work that way. Allah is the one who writes our story, and he knows what's best for us. Sometimes, things don't happen the way we want, because Allah has something better planned. Sometimes a delay is actually a blessing. Sometimes a closed door is protection. But when we don't trust Allah, we only see the problem, not the wisdom behind it. Think about all the times you worried in the past. Did worrying ever solve anything? Did it change the outcome? Number. But how many times did things work out in ways you never expected? How many times did you think something was bad for you, but later realized it was a blessing in disguise? This is a reminder that Allah is always taking care of you, even when you don't understand his plan. Allah has control over everything. Nothing happens without his permission. Not a leaf falls from a tree without his knowledge. Not a single event in your life is outside of his plan. So why do we worry when we have a Lord who is taking care of every detail? Instead of worrying, learn to surrender. Trust that Allah is guiding you, even when the road is unclear. Let go of the need to control everything and put your faith in the one who controls the universe. This doesn't mean you should stop making efforts. Work hard, do your best, but leave the results to Allah. If something is meant for you, it will come to you, no matter what. If something is not meant for you, no amount of worrying will bring it to you. True peace comes when you stop struggling against life and start trusting the one who created life. Every difficulty, every test, every hardship is part of a bigger plan. Even your pain has a purpose. Even your struggles are leading you somewhere beautiful. The moment you let go of your fears and trust in Him completely, you will feel a weight lifted off your shoulders. Your heart will be at peace, and your soul will finally rest. So, take a deep breath. Stop overthinking. Stop stressing over things that are beyond your control. Let go, and let Allah handle it. He is the best planner, the best protector, and the most merciful. He will never abandon you. He will never leave you helpless. Just trust Him, and you will see how beautifully everything falls into place. Overthinking will not change your situation. Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, replaying the same thoughts over and over in your head? Maybe you keep thinking about a mistake you made, or you're constantly worrying about the future. You ask yourself, what if this happens? What if I fail? What if things don't go the way I planned? Your mind becomes trapped in a cycle of endless thinking, but no matter how much you think about it, nothing changes. This is the painful reality of overthinking. It doesn't solve anything. It only makes you feel worse. Overthinking is like sitting in a rocking chair. It keeps you moving, but you don't go anywhere. It makes you feel like you're doing something productive, but in reality, you're just exhausting yourself mentally and emotionally. The more you overthink, the more anxious and overwhelmed you feel. Your mind creates problems that don't even exist. You start imagining the worst possible outcomes, even when there is no reason to believe they will happen. Instead of looking for solutions, you get stuck in fear and doubt. But here's the truth. No matter how much you overthink, you cannot control the future. You cannot change the past. The only thing you can control is how you respond in the present moment. When you trust Allah, you stop trying to figure everything out on your own. You remind yourself that He is the one who controls all things, and He already has a plan for you. Allah says in the Quran, "Surely Allah does not change the condition of a people unless they change themselves." When Allah intends evil for a people, there is no way to turn it back, and for them, there is no patron other than Him. Change does not come from excessive worrying. It comes from action and faith. If you want a better life, you must stop drowning in overthinking and start trusting that Allah will guide you in the right direction. Instead of stressing over things you cannot control, focus on what you can do. Pray, work hard, and then leave the rest to Allah. He will take care of the details. Think about the times in your life when you worried too much about something, only to later realize that your fears were unnecessary. Maybe you lost sleep over an exam, and in the end, you passed. Maybe you worried about money, but Allah provided for you in ways you never expected. Every time you overthink, you put yourself through suffering that may not even be real. Your fears exist in your mind, not in reality. The best way to stop overthinking is to strengthen your connection with Allah. When your heart is full of trust in Him, your mind will not be filled with unnecessary worries. Every time you feel overwhelmed by thoughts, remind yourself that Allah is in control. Recite His names, reflect on His mercy, turn your worries into dua. Instead of replaying negative scenarios in your head, talk to Allah about them. Let Him carry your burdens for you. Another powerful way to break free from overthinking is to take action. If something is bothering you, ask yourself, is there something I can do about it right now? If the answer is yes, Take a step towards a solution. If the answer is no, let it go and trust Allah. The more you train your mind to focus on the present, the less space you give to useless worries. Life is too short to waste it on endless thinking. You were not created to live in fear. You were created to worship Allah, to trust Him, and to walk through life with faith in your heart. Overthinking will only steal your joy and weaken your spirit. But when you surrender to Allah, you will find peace even in the middle of uncertainty. So, whenever your mind starts racing with worries, take a deep breath and remind yourself, Allah has already written my story. He knows what is best for me. My job is not to control everything. My job is to trust Him. Let go of the thoughts that do not serve you. Free yourself from the chains of overthinking. Have faith, move forward, and watch how beautifully Allah unfolds His plan for you. Allah knows what is best for you. Have you ever wanted something so badly, but no matter how much you tried, it just didn't happen? Maybe it was a job you dreamed of, a relationship you hoped for, or a goal you worked hard to achieve. When things don't go as planned, we often feel frustrated. We ask ourselves, why did this happen to me? Why is life so unfair? Why did Allah not give me what I wanted? But what we fail to realize is that sometimes what we want is not what we need. Sometimes what we are chasing will bring us harm, and Allah, in His infinite wisdom, protects us from it, even if we don't understand it at the time. Think of a small child who wants to touch fire. To the child, the fire looks beautiful, warm, and harmless. But the parent knows that if the child touches it, they will get burned. So the parent stops them. The child cries, thinking the parent is being unfair. But in reality, the parent is protecting them from harm. This is exactly how Allah cares for us. We may desperately want something, but only Allah sees the future. Only He knows what is truly good for us and what will harm us. Our knowledge is limited, but Allah's wisdom is infinite. What we see is only a small piece of the puzzle, but Allah sees the whole picture. Sometimes He delays something because He is preparing something better for us. Sometimes He removes something from our lives because it would have destroyed us. And sometimes He puts us through hardships to strengthen us and bring us closer to Him. Think about your past. How many times did you feel heartbroken over something, only to later realize that it was a blessing in disguise? Maybe you lost a job, only to find a better one later. Maybe you experienced failure, only to grow into a wiser and stronger person. Every closed door led you to a better path, even if you couldn't see it at the time. But in the moment of pain, it's not always easy to trust Allah's plan. Our hearts ache, and we feel lost. This is why patience and faith are so important. When we truly believe that Allah knows what is best for us, we stop questioning His decisions. We stop resisting what is happening and start surrendering to His will. Instead of asking, "Why me?" we start saying, "Ya Allah, I trust You. I know You have something better planned for me." The best way to strengthen this trust is to remember that Allah is the most merciful and the most loving. He loves you more than anyone in this world. He does not want to hurt you. He only wants to guide you to what is best. Even when He tests you, He is not punishing you. He is elevating you, purifying you, and preparing you for something greater. So the next time life doesn't go as you planned, remind yourself, Allah knows what I don't know. He sees what I don't see. He hears conversations I am not aware of. He is protecting me in ways I can't imagine. What is meant for you will never miss you, and what is not meant for you will never reach you. Let go of the burden of overthinking. Stop worrying about what could have been. Instead, place your trust in Allah and move forward with faith. One day, when you look back, you will realize that everything happened exactly the way it was supposed to, and it was always for your own good. Difficult times? Allah is always near. Life is full of ups and downs. There are moments of happiness and peace, but there are also moments of struggle, pain, and hardship. Sometimes life becomes so difficult that you feel like giving up. You might wonder, why is this happening to me? Why do I have to go through so much pain? Where is Allah in my suffering? But here's the truth. Allah is always near. He never leaves you, not even for a second. He sees every tear you cry. He hears every silent prayer in your heart, and He knows every difficulty you are facing. Even when you feel alone, He is with you. Even when the world turns against you, He remains by your side. Allah is not distant. He is closer to you than your own heartbeat. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, whenever your heart feels heavy, turn to Him. Speak to Him, cry to Him, and tell Him everything that is in your heart. He listens even when no one else does. Difficulties in life are not punishments. They are tests. They are opportunities for you to grow, to strengthen your faith, and to become closer to Allah. Imagine if life was always easy. Would you ever truly turn to Allah? Would you ever feel the need to pray and seek His help? Sometimes Allah allows hardship to enter your life so that you remember Him, so that you return to Him with a sincere heart. Sometimes your hardship is a blessing in disguise. It may be saving you from something worse. It may be preparing you for something greater. It may be purifying your heart and bringing you closer to Allah. Instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "Ya Allah, give me the strength to get through this." One of the best things you can do in difficult times is to increase your prayers, your remembrance of Allah, and your patience. Know that every hardship will pass. Just like the night always turns into day, your struggles will not last forever. Allah's help is already on the way. So, no matter what you are facing today, hold on to your faith. Allah sees your pain, and He will never leave you without support. Keep praying, keep trusting, and keep moving forward. One day, you will look back and realize that every hardship led you to something better, and Allah was guiding you all along. Seek help through patience and prayer. Life is full of challenges. Sometimes things don't go as planned. You may feel lost, overwhelmed, or completely broken. No matter how strong you are, there are moments when you feel like you can't handle everything on your own. In these moments, what should you do? Should you panic? Should you lose hope? No, Allah has already given us the answer. O you who believe, seek help through patience and prayer. Surely Allah is with those who are patient. Patience is not just about waiting for things to get better. It is about trusting that Allah's plan is always perfect, even when life feels unfair. It is about staying calm in difficult situations, believing that Allah is guiding you, even when you don't understand what is happening. Patience doesn't mean you won't feel pain. It's okay to feel sad, frustrated, or even angry. But patience means you don't let your emotions control you. Instead of complaining, you trust Allah. Instead of losing hope, you keep praying. Whenever you are feeling lost, the best thing you can do is pray. Salah is not just a ritual, it is a direct conversation with Allah. When you stand before Him in prayer, you are pouring out your heart, seeking His guidance, and asking for His help. Many people make the mistake of turning to everything except prayer. They complain to people, they look for distractions, they seek temporary comforts, but they don't turn to the one who controls everything. Imagine if instead of overthinking and worrying, you immediately went to pray. How much more peace would you feel? Sometimes, you may feel like your prayers are not being answered, but remember, Allah's timing is perfect. He hears every prayer, and He answers in the best way. Sometimes He gives you what you ask for immediately. Sometimes He delays it because He knows the right time. And sometimes He gives you something even better than what you asked for. So whatever you are going through, don't lose hope. Keep praying. Keep being patient. Your struggles are temporary, but Allah's mercy is endless. If you rely on Him, He will take care of you in ways you never imagined. Keep your faith strong and trust that your prayers will lead you to something greater. Life is too short to waste in endless worry and overthinking. Every moment you spend overanalyzing the past or fearing the future is a moment lost. But when you place your trust in Allah, your heart finds peace. No matter what happens, Allah's plan is always better than your fears. Remember, worrying will never change your situation, but trusting in Allah will. Let go of the things that are out of your control. Stop overthinking, stop stressing, and start believing that Allah is taking care of you in ways you cannot see. Every hardship, every delay, and every unanswered prayer is leading you to something greater. If this video helped you, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, Deen Xplorers. Share this message with someone who needs it. May Allah fill your heart with peace and make your life easier.